Welcome back, Raider Nation. It is the Raider D podcast. And today we're going to be talking about the three quarterbacks coming up in the 2024 draft. And with the new general manager, Tom Telesco, what are the Raiders going to do? We know that Tom Telesco likes to draft franchise quarterbacks. He does not like to go and get them in the free agency. Could we still end up with a Justin Fields in a trade with Chicago on a very cheap deal? 1 year prove it. It is very possible. But we know that the quarterback draft in 2024 is very deep. And therefore, Tom Telesco, as the new general manager, is most likely going to go after our franchise quarterback in the draft. And today, that's what we're going to be talking about. So let's break it down. Here we are going to be talking about the three main candidates for the 2024 draft in the quarterback class. Now, in this quarterback class, it is very deep. There are at least 9 good quarterbacks going to be drafted in this quarterback draft, and I would say at least 7 of them are going to end up becoming full-time starters in the NFL. The other 2 may end up being hit and miss, but we're only going to be talking about the 3 big ones. And that, of course, is Caleb Williams, as well as Drake Maye and Jayden Daniels, who has really risen his stock over a year ago. Therefore, let's jump right into these 3 and their comparables that are current in the NFL. Starting off with Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is most often referred to as the next Patrick Mahomes. He's a magician on the field. He's super athletic and gifted. He could throw off platform like no other in college. The only comparable to him, obviously, would be Patrick Mahomes. He's very elusive and good at getting out of the pocket. He makes a few bad decisions, but he can throw the ball in pretty much anywhere he wants. He has a very strong arm. Kind of the drawbacks with Caleb Williams would be that he has potentially some character issues. Now, I say character issues, it's more of just being immature. It's not that he's, one of these guys that's going to go around and beat up his girl or, run into the back of some passenger car at 120 miles an hour. However, he does do some quirky things like painting his fingernails on game day, crying on his mother's bosom when he loses a game. And then there's family intervention. The reason why it took Caleb Williams so long for him to even declare entering the draft was because apparently his father was trying to make sure that the family would have ownership in whatever team he was drafted to. Now, I can't verify that this is actually the case, but that is the rumor that's going around. The validity of that at this point is unknown. However, if that is in any way true, this could be one of those situations where parents are deeply involved in this young man's career, and that could cause some contention with the team, particularly with the upper management and ownership. And it could potentially cause problems. So couple that with what is apparently some immaturity on his own level, and the fact that he makes a few bad decisions on the field, sometimes holds onto the ball too long and tries to use his legs as a crutch to get out of any situation, which doesn't always work out. I would say, as far as Raiders go, it is highly unlikely that our new GM would move up to the number 1 spot in order to draft Caleb Williams. Moving on now to Drake Maye. Drake Maye is a prototypical quarterback for today's NFL. He's tall, he's long, he's strong, he is athletic. No, he is not Lamar Jackson athletic, but he can run with the ball. Think more along the lines of Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. This is what Drake Maye brings to the NFL. And as we know, Tom Telesco just came from the Los Angeles Chargers, where he drafted Justin Herbert. So is it very plausible that we would move up to try and garner Drake Maye's services for the Raiders? Absolutely. Now that we have a GM, we kind of understand his drafting philosophy and what he likes to do as far as how he builds the team around a franchise quarterback and where he gets them and the type of quarterback that he likes to draft. It is quite possible that we end up with Drake Maye. Now, moving on to the next big name, and this is my favorite because I think he has the most upside. There's also a risk with him, but his upside is Lamar Jackson level, and that is Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels out of LSU, Heisman Trophy winner. This kid has blazing speed. I mean, if he wanted to play wide receiver or even a tall, skinny running back, he could do it. Now, would that translate to the NFL? Probably not. He would probably end up getting crushed and constantly injured. But as a quarterback, he is phenomenal. Now, remember, Lamar Jackson was picked 32 in the NFL draft. He was 32nd pick. This guy is a once-in-a-lifetime talent. He is currently going to be going up against our rivals, the Kansas City Chiefs, and good luck to him because anytime the Chiefs lose, I am a happy man. However, Jayden Daniels is most comparable to Lamar Jackson in his build, his gameplay, his style, attitude, everything. I mean, it is like you took a DNA clone of Lamar Jackson and you made
baby Jayden Daniels.
And that's who will be coming into the NFL. Now, again, a year ago, his stock was pretty low because he had inconsistency in his passing. He always had the athleticism, but he has really improved this year. Obviously, he won the Heisman Trophy Award. Downsides to Jayden Daniels. Well, for one, he's really skinny. But you know what? Lamar Jackson wasn't as big as he is now when he first came into the NFL. So he can put on weight. He can put on strength and muscle. One of the other things is with Jayden Daniels, as a negative, is he tends to rely on running too much. Now, when you look at a Patrick Mahomes, he runs in order to throw, whereas Jayden Daniels throws in order to run. In other words, he drops back, and then if his first or second read isn't there instantaneously, he'll just take off running. Now, granted, that works in college, and you can pick up 30, 40, 50 yards and beat everybody on the field. But Jayden, when you come to the NFL, everybody runs a 4.40 in that defense. I mean, heck, even some of the defensive linemen are running 4.5s, so you're not going to be able to just outrun everybody like you do in college. So we really need to make sure that if we were to go up and draft a guy like Jayden Daniels, again, my favorite pick, he really needs to get schooled and coached very well in how to use his legs to extend the pass and not try and be the running back for the team. The Las Vegas Raiders have two very good running backs if we re-sign Josh Jacobs. So that would be the deal with him. Make sure that you'd coach him in order to become a better passer using his legs to extend plays like Patrick Mahomes does, like Justin Herbert does, instead of trying to run those 40-yard downs. Now, granted, 3rd and 4, absolutely. Use those legs, guaranteed, keep the chains moving, got no problem with that. But don't try to win the game with your legs all the time. Win the game with your arm because you got a cannon. At the end of the day, all three of these candidates are going to be potential superstars in the NFL. With any quarterback in any draft, it is always a 50-50 shot. Maybe they pan out and they become a starter and they're really good. Maybe they become a superstar, or maybe they just wash out within the next 3 or 4 years of their career. With these three candidates and their athleticism, I highly doubt that any of these three will wash out. All of them will be starters on a team somewhere.
Just win, baby.
Roll!